What up, world? This is another episode, another edition, another rendition of the I'm Not Saying, I'm Just Saying podcast. I'm Frii Will, your
I'm
guy.
Wav Gawd.
Yes, sir. So what's good with you, brother?
Another week, man. Another crazy week, man. It's a lot going down, man.
Yeah,
It's hard to know where to start with
week.
it all.
Hey, man, I'll say first and foremost, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Just lost another great entertainer, another great black voice. Maybe controversial sometimes. People didn't always like what he had to say, but he had something to say. And he was somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's friend. So a lot of people out here celebrating his death. Shame on y'all motherfuckers. That's whack. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. I personally didn't even agree with everything he said, but I would never wish no death or celebrate no man's death like that, especially another black man that ain't harmed nobody. So R.I.P. to him. You know, the YouTube world and the social media world and everything are definitely missing. I think he was on his way up to some mega shit, maybe some TV, maybe some, there's no telling, but he was definitely on his way up with his shit.
Yeah, he definitely built a nice fan base, and even through his YouTube, he really developed an empire that, tragically got cut short. But
right,
it's interesting to see what effect his presence will have on society going forward, even with him not being here, because of course people not gonna forget that name with what he was doing. Like,
that's
Kevin
true.
Samuels' name is gonna ring bells for a minute. And so it's just a matter of seeing, like I said, what kind of impact that has on our society, but what he did build, and what was left behind. Because he definitely held people accountable. And
that's a fact.
It's been a while since anybody came and publicly did that to, like a mass group of people, and made it public to where you could see these people being told what they might not want to hear. And I hear people say, you always got to remember, like, as bad as you think he might have been, or whatever idea you got about him, people reached out to him. This wasn't a situation of him just hopping on YouTube and just bashing random people for no reason. Like, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, he wasn't out here chasing and attacking people. And a lot of times what I would see is he didn't really turn up until somebody turned up with him. That was his whole thing. Like, but I mean, some of his message was harsh, but I think a lot of what he was saying was like, either stay in your lane or elevate to the next lane, speed up. That's what it seemed like. And also, like you said, holding people accountable. Because a lot of people, I think they missed the cuts where he really lets black men know we need to step it up too. So, I mean.
Yeah, he was on the men just as hard.
Yeah, so like I said, it was controversial shit, but regardless of how people feel about him, celebrating a man's death, especially all these women. I seen Vivica Fox talking about it's karma for him it's karma for him to die. Like, his death was karma for all the things he said about black women. And I'm like, come on, with all due respect, Miss Vivica, come on now. That's some shiesty shit to say. And if anything, all that plastic surgery is karma. You know what? This ain't the time. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
That last movie role was
fuckers out here looking, bro. The karma will show when you ain't getting the roles you used to, when you doing this and that to keep up. Everybody ain't doing that, bro. But
misery loves
do
company.
you though?
Yeah, I saw
a lot of people
statement.
miserable, man. A lot of people miserable on the internet when it comes to a lot of shit, bro. It's like, especially stuff that ain't got nothing to do with them. That'd be the main people miserable. When you find something ain't got nothing to do with you, but somehow you gotta flip it and make it about you, or put you in it, or try to tear other people down, whatever. The internet is not your world, people. Stop letting the metaverse affect you that much. Like, no matter how much we in this social media space, you see everybody in your phone. It's almost like you got the whole world in your pocket. Guess what? You really still don't. Reality is still reality. You still around the same people in your immediate area. You still, can get smacked in the mouth for running it too much. There's a lot of shit that, reality is out here, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop hanging on to this internet shit and getting so goddamn caught up and emotional in it, because it be making people have issues that ain't really real. And it's corny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like, especially if you're a grown ass man or woman, like, come on now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a disease that's going around, though.
It's a sickness.
People celebrating the negativity, man. And it's like they want it to happen. Like they people not really looking for peaceful solutions. Like they want the bullshit to go down.
They want to see it. They want to see it on TV. They want to see it in their life till it really show up. And then they don't want that shit. But it's a mess. But this is what's been sold to us just even long before we was even born. Like, bullshit has been selling. The news is full of bullshit. Like, they hardly ever, report good news. It's because the bullshit sells. I mean, think about it right now. Like, I'm sure you can find a whole lot of charitable contributions that the Young Thug and Gunna have made that we ain't gonna hear about or haven't heard about as much. But
yeah,
this situation, although it's a huge situation, that's what we're gonna hear the most about right now. The whole YSL crew getting locked up, everything going down with that. That's nuts, man.
Feds did a sweep.
Boy, and the jokes are coming, boy. That nigga Lucci, they said that nigga Lucci in there sitting there going, he in there telling, boy. He in there singing. That's nuts.
Ooh.
That's nuts, bro.
I hope it ain't true, man. I hope it ain't true.
Man, all I know is,
regardless if he is or not, though, man, if they really been watching them boys for the last decade,
it don't matter who was saying what.
Yeah, it don't really matter who's talking at this point. Like 9 times out of 10, anybody that snitches really just giving a confession, because you're not actually telling them something they don't already know in the last 10 years of investigating.
That's true. I'll tell you this, it sucks, man. They taking all the music out. They taking all the rappers down. They done got Thug, Gunna. I heard Casanova just got locked up.
Yeah, he pleaded guilty.
Like, come on.
I mean,
man.
they mostly going after the street rappers, though. It ain't, they ain't going after the Joyner Lucases or the Nas X's, or they just basically going after the street rappers who make a living with their music, talking about things that go down when you in that environment.
This is bigger than just trying to lock these guys up for crimes they committed. Like, this is just coming along with the rest of they're gonna amend that First Amendment. Our freedom of speech is dwindling every day.
Yeah.
And they're rerouting what that means to have freedom of speech. They've been already, think about all these states that are trying to get rid of drill music. All kinds of stuff going on. Like, they're gonna really try to cut all of that out.
Mm-hmm.
Rap gonna become real poppy. It's gonna be real kids poppy after a while, because they're gonna take next thing they're gonna take the drug use out. They're gonna take everything. They're gonna take just bit by bit little pieces out of the music down to they're gonna pick a conscious rap. Wait till they find a real just like some real forward thinking conscious music that goes against maybe what the country stands for. Then they're gonna say that's treasonous or some shit. That's gonna be the next thing. They're picking apart rap music piece by piece. This is just a step. So
I know one thing I thought about
Yeah,
yesterday is it really should be unfair for anybody to use them lyrics against them when it comes to using evidence against them in court. Lyrics shouldn't really play a part simply because I just feel like because of the fact, when you signing contracts and you actually got your business together and you doing business under a certain name when, like they trying to use Young Thug's lyrics against them. But
mm,
Jeffrey Williams is the one who's on trial. You get what I'm saying? Jeffrey Williams didn't say all that stuff. Young Thug said all that stuff, but Young Thug
well,
isn't the one being taken to trial.
well, what is Young Thug's music paperwork look like? And when you look at his BMI, I bet you it says Jeffrey Williams. So that's
Well,
that's
yeah.
kind of adds that in itself. I mean, it's obviously him. Like they like that'd be the same thing as saying that like if he went to a store, if he just went to a corner store and robbed a corner store, then Jeffrey Williams did that and he's held accountable. But if he shot somebody on stage, then that was Young Thug and Jeffrey Williams can't be accountable. It's the same nigga. They gonna do they gonna do him one way or another. But
But that's why I said with just lyrics though, because if you shoot somebody on stage, that ain't part of your business. But rapping them lyrics is part of your business. You get what I'm saying? That's why there's a
yeah,
distinction between your person and your business. And like
you're
I said,
right. But
Young Thug is not on trial, at least not for those lyrics. Now, Jeffrey Williams, yeah, he's on trial for, the whole RICO and racketeering.
yeah, it's just that
It's a separate,
Jeffrey Williams
there's
wrote them.
separation there. Like you said,
I
like you
wish.
said with him shooting somebody on stage, that's not part of your business. It's not in your contract to say, hey, rap these lyrics, but also shoot this guy in the third row in seat 13. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they still gonna use
I'm
them, bro.
strictly speaking the business.
I don't think it's necessarily right or not either, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna find
Oh
every
yeah, they
way
gonna
to
do it.
tear black men apart and tear them down anyway. Like that's right or wrong. That's part of the goal. So then when you add in the fact that these niggas may or may not have done this allegedly, all of these crimes is held against them. I don't know, man. I just think it sucks for music overall, just as a fan, to be real. That's a lot of people gone, bro. And then you factor in
Yeah,
other people that are already gone, like you already got Pooh Shiesty locked up, for example. Um,
Fujiano.
Fujiano. So that and the list goes on. There's even hella like I've seen hella memes popped up with, and there are a lot of rappers I'm not even familiar with. They're just from different states and different towns that are popular where they from, and they locked up. So there's a long list of rappers, whether rightfully so or not, that are in jail, in prison, and we losing music. And I think was the biggest issue with that I see is they're gonna find everything on these guys, but it's almost like they've put aside all finding who's been taking the kids and who's been doing all this and that behind the scenes with a lot of shady shit, especially the things that go on in there's crime in all the entertainment facets, all of different genres of music. There are definitely country singers, rock singers, pop singers, R&B singers, whatever the hell you want to name, that are doing illegal activity. But we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
find it on these rappers. We're gonna find it on these rappers. They gonna constantly find it against these rappers. That's the issue. It don't matter how good your music is. They'll let you ride for 10 years. Now
Apparently, they
the
shown
labels
that.
have gotten what the labels have gotten their money back and then some now. So now, bro, you don't think some of the people in them offices at Atlantic weren't made aware or weren't made privy? Either that or some undercovers working in there. This shit deep, bro. It's crazy, man. So you know, wishing
There's
for the
always
best
levels.
for Thugger and Gunna and everyone else
Yes, sir.
involved in that shit, bro. Because hey, I'm a fan. Put it to you like that. I want to see both of them niggas, as well as everyone else, see their way out, see justice, all those good things. All I know is that nigga Jack Harlow, he YSL. Nobody locked him up.
Is he?
Nah, he can't be YSL.
Jack Harlow started this YSL shit.
Bro,
This shit bigger than
you know
Thug
what
and
though?
Gunna.
You know what though? You know what though? I'm tired of the memes. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm tired of the memes. Cause
I'm
Thug
going
and
down.
Gunna,
I'm taking everybody with me.
stupid. Not New Jack Harlow City. New Jack Harlow. Hey, bro, he can't be YSL, man, because Thugger didn't put on no mid. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Look, I'm not saying he got album of the year. I'm not saying, you know, he's the best rapper alive. I'm just saying I listened to it and it sounded good. But I listened to it before I went online and saw everybody giving their opinion.
Me too.
And I was like, you know, it's a decent album. It sounds good. It sounds like they put some money into it. You know, I can't really say it's gonna outdo any other projects that's either preceded it or about to succeed it for the rest of the year. You know, we just came off of Dreamville, Future, there's a couple of artists, Pusha T, that been dropped, and I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put his album up there with those, but I wouldn't call it trash. I know it's a lot of people thinking, I've seen probably the biggest criticism is, you know, people saying he trying to sound like Drake. I mean, I could kind of see where they going with that, but I feel like everybody compares everything nowadays, though. Like, nobody just looks at something for what it is and be like, you know, there's always, like, people still comparing everybody to Pocket, Biggie, and Nas and Jay-Z and Cole and Kendrick. It's always comparisons. So I try to kind of look past that, but I could see where they going with the Drake thing, though.
Hey, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, every single rapper that you named in your eloquent breakdown of Jack Harlow and how he's not trash. I will say you this: you did a good job, sir. I want to say that. But you named just within conversation, you named Drake, you named Big, Pac, Kendrick, Cole, Pusha T, Future, and I feel like somebody else. You named at
Yeah,
least
because
those
I
people.
feel like those are the names that anybody else always gets compared to.
Right.
Like, as
But
soon as they drop something, people like, oh man, that kind of sound like a Future bop. You know
that's
what I'm
cool.
saying?
Well,
Like, they automatically go to it.
Well, just because you said that, I'm gonna compare him, Mr. Harlow, to everybody you just named and tell me, does he hold a candle, a match, anything to that? No. And he don't have to. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Jack don't have to. I listened to the Jack tape before anybody gave me opinions myself. The only thing I had heard before that was actually I heard two songs. I was gonna say I only heard the Fergie Glamorous song, but I actually realized the close to the end of the tape, the Nail Tech song with there. I heard that before. Jack Harlow's tape was straight. It was pretty good. It had a lot of skips though. And that's why I've been calling it mid. I've been saying it's very mid. It's some good mid. It's that mid that when you hit it, you know you're smoking mid, right? But it's got a little buzz, but it's got a little kick behind it. But You really waiting the next week when the plug gets you up and tell you he got a bag of that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's what's going on right here. It's not that future bag of last week. It's not that push bag of the week before. It's a bag of Jack. And what I'm saying is I've seen a lot of people online. I'm talking about hating mad that for some reason, particularly at me, that I think that this is a mediocre album. And if anybody would take the time to ask me and have a conversation with me, like you, for example, you know that I don't hate Jack Harlow. I don't even hate this tape. I think that the Justin Timberlake song was really good. Um, I want to say the Churchill Downs is really good, but it's kind of just because Drake snapped. I really didn't really like. Well, I ain't hate Jack Harlow verse, but it just doesn't really hold up with what Drake was doing. I think he knew that was going to happen. Sometimes I give him props that like as a rapper, there's a lot of pride and a lot of competition. He put his pride to the side and said, "No, I think I just want to do a dope song." So I can respect that. I fuck with that. And as much of a Pharrell fan as I am, that wasn't my favorite Pharrell song. Maybe I got to listen to it again. That wasn't the best feature. Especially when you realize you just heard that Pusha a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When you compare that work to that, that's when I hear Push when he was saying, "I get the best work out of these two niggas." Speaking of Pusha, speaking of Pharrell and Kanye, I get the best work out of these niggas. It shows. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no grinding on that Jack Harlow, which I'm not expecting grinding, but I'm just saying it was farther from that side of it.
Yeah.
The song with Wayne's pretty good, and he got maybe one or two solos that I thought were all right. But I'll be honest, like there's a lot of skips on that
even
shit,
the
bro.
way it came in for me, bro. Like the first track, I was kind of like, when it first hit, I'm like, all right, where is this going? Because it was just this weird ass cadence and these notes it
Yeah,
was hitting. But then once it actually got going, I'm like, okay. And
I
then
like
he had
track
the
one.
samples
Okay,
in it.
I didn't
Yeah,
love
and then he
track
had
two,
this.
but one was okay. He had about I say it was what 15, 16 songs. He had about 5 that I could put on a playlist, but it's nothing on that I'm really running back to. And I think the leak of the Drake song kind of hurt him because now I don't have to play that a bunch of times. I listen to it on YouTube 100 times
Mm-hmm.
before it's come out. So it's like, I don't know, man. It missed for me. I don't think that it missed for what he was trying to do. I think that he's got a handful of songs that's going to play this summer. It's going to do well touring. It's going to do well on the radio. It's going to do well on TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to keep making appearances like he's doing Kentucky Derbies and shit like that. Like the popularity is there, but like when you show me somebody has money put into them, then that's just telling me that there's some money put into them. I mean, look at how many of these. Think about it. Put some money into some of these raggedy looking motherfuckers, and now you got Instagram models. Put some, put some money into the right program, and now you have a better sports team. Like money make it look good, make it sound good. You can be in rags and a little bread to have your suit, you line up and everything right. You fresh, you crisp, you know what I'm saying? You get the right shoes on,
Mm-hmm.
boom, boom, boom. And look, it sounded like to me, Jack Harlow had the right shoes on. He was fresh as when you talking about production. It was the right production on there. It was the right mixing. It was the right money put into it. But at the same time, from a songwriter perspective, it wasn't what the first one was. I feel like he rapped a little bit better the last tape, in my opinion. It's kind of it's straight. Yeah, his serious songs were good. I like when it seemed like he was being more introspective, but the majority of it was was it was mid to me. It was mid. And by the time I even had a chance to try to give it another chance or try to get into it, here come Kendrick with the Heart Part 5. Like this, they just let me know right there, Jack. Come on, man.
But I mean, when you start comparing it to that though, like maybe just in my perception, I don't feel like that's a fair comparison to take Jack Harlow and compare him to Kendrick Lamar though. Like
who's the
he
best
ain't even
team
been
in
in
the
the
NBA?
game. Like
Who the
he ain't
best
even
team in
been
the
in the
NBA?
game long enough, bro.
But who the best team in the NBA right now?
The best team in the
Or
NBA.
one of the best teams. Give me one of the best teams in the NBA. We'll say the Celtics, right?
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
like
say
the
Golden
Celtics.
State, but after the
Golden
other
State.
night, I don't know. I
But
don't know.
they still both they both fair for the comparison though.
Yeah.
We can say Boston, we can say Golden State. Just because they in the playoffs and have a finals contention or finals potential to be a contender, that doesn't mean we can't compare them to the Detroit Pistons or the Charlotte Hornets that are in the same league. We can't compare them to the niggas that's in the same, that play on the same course they play on. Jack Harlow nominated in the same Grammy nominations and shit that anybody else is. He's on the same radio stations. He's on the same social sites. He's in the same circles that any of the rest of these motherfuckers have access to. He may have a little bit more or a little bit less than the next man or woman standing next to him, but they're in the same league. We're not comparing battle rappers. We're not comparing local rappers. We're comparing two famous niggas. regardless of how long they've been in the game, bro. Like, I put it to you like this. CLB, if CLB dropped this week, if it was CLB and how I felt about CLB and how I felt like that shit was mid. If CLB dropped this week and then Kendrick's The Heart Part 5 came out, I'd be saying the same shit. If Jack Harlow got all these songs about he the best and his shit, you got to be one of the best. If you out here walking around with Drake in a suit at the Kentucky Derby, you got
the best.
That's cool. And a lot of motherfuckers be saying they the best and they a fucking lie. They're fucking trash. But that's not Jack Harlow. It's just other niggas. But anyway, what I'm saying is you can't say you this or you that. And then when I take you for your word and hold you up to the rest of who I feel of this or that, and you're not like it's cool, but that's my opinion. But what I'm saying is that like I'm gonna look at him the same way I'm looking at Future, or the same way I look at anybody else that's dropping. And it's not even just me saying, oh, white rapper. To be honest, it ain't about him just being a white rapper. I do think that sometimes these niggas get a pass for being mediocre and be calling them great. I do think that. I think it's a pass for being, instead of just saying he's a good rapper or just saying his tape all right, it's like if you say it's mid, then you hating. They're saying you hating on a white dude. And no, I call plenty of shit mid or trash. But if you gonna be in the big leagues, you gotta hold it up to that. And some people online might be like, well, who is this nigga? He not in the big league. Guess what? I don't really take opinions from people who ain't never wrote no music, who can't rap, who can't sing, who ain't never been in no studio, who ain't never made no beat, who ain't never took a piano lesson, been in a band, none of that shit. Like, you just sitting at home.
The majority of people.
Yeah, right. You just sitting at home talking shit, looking nuts. Like, nah, get the fuck on somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that think it's shit trash just because he ain't rapping about no street shit. It's always that crowd is. They just think it's trash because he ain't on no street shit, and I'm like, I mean,
that's really stupid. I look at like rap music has too many facets. Like, I'm not going. They'll be saying Childish Gambino's whack, or saying that whoever's whack because they don't rap on no street shit. Like, bro, it's too many different things to talk about than to just talk about just bitches, or just to talk about just street shit, or just conscious shit, or just scamming niggas, or whatever the city girls are talking about. Like, there's so many different things. Like, I'm not going like I listen to, speaking of like City Girls, I'll play a City Girl song, I'll play a Rhapsody song. Doesn't make either one of them greater than the other, even though I'm more of the lyrical head. I'm gonna definitely say Rhapsody is a better rapper. That doesn't mean that the City Girls don't make a hot song. And they got two different subjects going, they got two different things going. You can't say either one of them whack if the shit bop, if there's people head nodding to it and people responding to it. That's why I say Jack Harlow's not whack. I just thought it was mid. I thought it didn't hold up to what the rest of this year's releases have been. There's been a lot of good music coming out this year. There's been a
Yeah,
lot of
most
shit.
definitely.
And for him to be one of the premier artists, because no matter how long he been in the game, bro, Lil Baby ain't been in the game in that long, but he's a premier artist. The Baby's a premier artist. Meg the Stallion, premier artist. Uh, Plenty of, I can name a bunch. Like if they put some mid out, niggas gonna say it's mid. So I'm gonna hold Jack to that same fucking standard. If Lil Baby puts some mid out, we gonna say that. And they've been out basically the same amount of time. You ain't gonna do me like that today. Nah, that nigga put some he put some medium, he put some warm toast out. It was cool. It was cool. I got about, like I said, it's about 5 songs I can put into a playlist with some more shit, and it's gonna rock. That's what I say. He did his thing, but the whole tape won't for me. And so what he did have, I think it rocks with ladies. That's why there's a whole lot of women defending it hard. Like it's a lot of that, bro. A lot of people snapping. If you don't like Jack Harlow, it's a lot of men
Yeah,
with
they
it's a lot,
protecting Jack Harlow and murdering Kevin Samuels.
bro. It's a lot of women with no man. Let me make this clear. There's a lot of women with no man who are shitting on Kevin Samuels and worshiping Jack Harlow like it's their man. There's a lot of women holding on. I mean, no offense to the single
It's
people out there, but it
weird.
really seems like that's what's going on. It's a lot of hating ass niggas, a lot of weirdos. It's just a lot of shit going on the internet. Y'all got to get over yourselves, bro. Especially if you're gonna try to get at me about this Jack Harlow tape, and Future just dropped a fucking classic and then put a deluxe on the end of it. And right before that, Pusha just dropped some. Like these niggas dropping hard shit, bro. Pause. Like, come on, man. Don't play with me like that. These are legends. Kendrick just dropped a heart. This nigga was anamorphing all over the fucking screen, turning into Kanye and OJ and Juicy Smoothie and fucking Kobe. That nigga Nip, that nigga did it all, bro. Stop playing, bro. Like, don't play with me, man. It come to rap shit, it come to hip hop,
Apparently
it
he
come to
stole that
music.
concept, but you know, that's what they try to say anyway. But
That little motherfucker need to watch the Michael Jackson black and white video, and shut the fuck up. That little dude, AK, whatever it is, he need to get the fuck out of here with that.
yeah,
Kendrick stole my. You know what it is? I'll give it to him though. That's good timing. If you did that video before, and Kendrick happens to do it, and Kendrick probably didn't see your shit,
I
but
think they say his came out in like 2020. I think.
that's cool. I would have did the same thing. I'd have told everybody Kendrick stole my shit, even though I know he never saw it. Because now he
It's
got a
gonna
bunch
get you
of views.
plays.
It's gonna get you plays. So good job, Mr. AK. I don't believe you. I don't believe Kendrick stole your shit. But good for you, man. That people rocking with it. Good for you. I didn't actually hear the song. I just saw a little clip. I never heard the whole song. But nah, Kendrick was anamorphing, bro. Then he rap like Nip spoke to him, bro. Y'all better stop playing with Kendrick Lamar. That nigga got out of bed and got possessed by dead people and living people. It had me worried. I started Googling, making sure Will Smith and Kanye was okay. I was like, what the fuck? Is OJ alive? Yeah, he nigga was morphing into everybody. That shit was lit, bro. I always look forward to the Heart series when Kendrick drops because he always puts one of those out before his tape, before his album. I remember the Heart Part 2 being a really good one. 4, just some that I specifically remember. I've heard them all, but those two stick out to me. It was 2 and 4. Oh yeah, man, gearing up, dropping Friday the 13th All that good
You
shit.
ready?
Yeah, Kendrick coming for y'all, bro. Yo, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really and look, let's be clear.
You gonna be on the next episode calling it some mid.
If it's some mid, I will. I mean that. Hey man, I'm not playing about that. I got nothing but the utmost respect for Kendrick Lamar. I respect Jack Harlow for the record. Like I don't hate that dude. I think he can rap. I just don't think his album was that good. But Kendrick, let Kendrick come on here with some mid. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, the nigga's album cover is him with
Yeah,
his wife
slim
and babies.
chance.
Nigga's album cover is him with his wife and babies. There ain't even no words on it. You already know what time it is.
Yeah, that album cover hard.
We thought the Big Steppers was like a band or a gang of niggas in that. Nah, it's just babies. And one of them can't even step yet, so you know it's a problem. You know he about to rap. He about to fire it up, boy. I ain't mad at him, man. I ain't mad at it, bro. I'm ready to see that. I'm excited about that, man. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Morale.
He was less than 24
Steppers.
hours.
Yeah, we're gonna see tonight, bro. Midnight. I'm gonna crank that up, man. We're gonna be back for a review of Mr. Morale and Big Steppers tonight. So, you know, y'all motherfuckers stay tuned. It's gonna be lit, man. Yeah, but right before we wrap up here, y'all get off Jack Harlow's dick. Get off Kevin Samuels' dick.
Yeah, for the record, just because Kevin Samuels gone don't mean that the shit don't still apply.
It still applies to you. You still average. Hell, we all average somewhere. Everybody step your game up. I'm stepping mine up. Man. Like for real. But at the end of the day, we gonna see, man. We gonna see. It's Friday. It's almost Friday. Let's see some new music drop. It's going in.
Yeah, we definitely getting that.
Yes, sir. I'm not saying, I'm just saying podcast. We'll be back.